Today I wanted to make a video about Upwork. How much time did I have to wait until I got my first project? Just for a quick recap, I'm not totally new to freelancing, but I'm new on Upwork. Back in 2011, I was a freelance. I worked on some maybe 400 projects, and but just recently I started again as a freelancer because I could not find a job. That's the only reason. And I sent some 500 CVs since the pandemic. Um, so freelance for me works better because, like, right now it's the only thing that gives me money. I'm full-time freelancer, and I'm mostly full-time on Upwork since last Halloween, like beginning of November in 2025. So, how much time did I have to wait until I made my first project? Um, Basically, I started, I think, on the 27th of October, basically beginning of November. And my first project was two maps that I did November 6th, November 7th. So it took me somewhat like 1 week before having my first few project on Upwork. 100, 200, it's not that much. They were not that big of a projects, but it's a beginning, and I got 5 stars reviews on both projects, which is good. And I was very dedicated to get those projects. I was sending between 2 and 5 proposals every single day. Yes, burning the money for that. But I got my first project after maybe a week. But then I got that project on November 14. So 2 weeks before I started, and just a $50 project. Like, if you look here, it's just one $50 project. That's what I bid for. It was for a card. And that project, from 50 to 550 to 600 to 600 to 600 to 400 to 100, I have earned more than 4,000 on one single project, one single client. So I did for them the complete board game, including 50 cards, 8 character cards, the box, the rule book. So sometimes you never know. The project might look small. It was small. It was just a $50 project. And that's the only thing that I saw was like, okay, yes, a small project for $50. I could have dismissed that, honestly, because it was very small. But so far, it's my main client, and more than half of my revenues come from that client on the platform. So that is to say that sometimes you never know. They say don't judge the book by its cover, but don't judge your client project by the size of the project. Make sure that you apply to project that you have a good chance to win. In that case, uh, well, a project for $50, it was not a big deal. Like, I could win that project without working for it. Basically, it was right in my niche, a good profile early on the proposal, and I got that first project, which happened to be a first tryout, like for $50. The client was satisfied, and like, the milestone that I got with him was uh, so for 4,150 so far. So a total project about 400, 200. I'm about to finish that project, but it's a good recurring project. So only after 1 week that I got my first project on Upwork, and after 2 weeks, I got an actually very good project that I'm still working on 6 months after. So yeah, the better you get, the more invited you get to the projects, the better the projects are. And it took me, let me see, after those two projects, how much time did I until I got a real decent project. Like the third project was 140. The one after was 351, but you see $15, $80, $100, then $600. That was a good one too. But it took December 16. It took me a month and a half to get a $600 project. Then 950, 121, 30. So basically the point is it takes a lot of work, takes a lot of connects to get to your first project. But the more you get, the better you have reviews, the more your profile is established, and the more invited you get to jobs. And going back to why does it work, I think it's the quality of the profile, my communication skills. I try to be fast, I try to answer politely, to make the client trust me. But it took a good week before I got my first $100 project, and then 2 weeks for my main client so far, which is a 4,000 uh, kind of project. So that's all for today. If you're on Upwork, let me know if you're having results, what is blocking you. If you're not on Upwork, tell me why not. Why don't you want to start? If you have a real job and you don't have time, maybe you can have time instead of scrolling on social media or watching videos, or maybe you can start creating your profile. Maybe you can start applying to jobs. Maybe you can create portfolio item. Get the wheel started. It takes time. It takes energy. It's sometimes deceiving, but at the end, when the results are there, I think it's a wonderful platform. I'm happy to be on there. And I have also clients from outside of Upwork, but even in that case, my portfolio item that I create for Upwork, they are helping me get clients outside of the platform. So all in all, I'm very satisfied of my experience. And let me know in the comments if you have anything. And please share this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.